Yeah, this one's gonna be quick. It's not gonna be too long. I just did like some videos. I know they're longer, so I'll do some other ones in the near future, what have you. Yeah, I know you try not to you post because you need to get yourself out there, but you also too don't want to just post if it's not gonna be heard as much or something like that. Yeah. Anyway, what was I gonna touch on? Oh, so I guess what I am picking up on is people don't want you to take on the world. Or let alone I guess be capable of it or something. Yeah, but it's like that basically more or less like yeah, your destiny that has nothing to do with anyone else but you and your relationship and connection to source, or i.e. God. Yeah, 111 on the clock. Yeah, it has nothing to do with anyone else. So basically, in other words, being really mindful now as in who it'll show you who's really on your side and who isn't. Yeah, so like just speaking in like general third person point of view right now, perspective, yeah, it's just going to show you in the end who was really about your success, who was really about your overall self-mastery and development. Yeah, in the end, yes. I don't know what's up with some people within the tarot community. I have noticed things on and off. I don't quite understand why there's this certain level, I guess, of unspoken snobbery. Yeah, whereas like unless you have to be someone that does exactly what they do or something for them to like respect you or acknowledge you or embrace you or all kinds of shit, I have no idea. Yeah, I don't know where that's come from, more or less. To each their own. Place it where it goes. Place yourself where you go. This is timeless here. But, no, I don't know where all of that comes from, to whom it applies. It's kind of like, we didn't come here to make friends, and like, I've known this, but also there have been readers that have spoken on that and made it very clear, too. Yeah, so it's not like we're losing sleep over that or getting butthurt or anything of that sort. Yeah, it's just that you just start conducting yourself and moving yourself accordingly and acclimating to your new quote unquote I guess said environment or whatever. Yeah, so I don't know. There's something with people that apparently they kind of like more or less just kind of wanted to just always look at you as small or nothing or less than for whatever reasons because you don't do exactly what they do. But that doesn't mean that you don't have your own inner genius or haven't exemplified stuff on and off on your own timing. Yeah, so it wouldn't matter what their opinions are of things or whatever. Just like the fact of people doing like what is that, it's like side content to get like acquire, I guess, what is that, narcissistic supply. Yeah, that's what the side content is for. So it's not in the videos. It's like the videos is like their main, I guess, job basically thing, but the side content is where they participate in gossip. Yeah, whether it's in the comments under a video or whether it's the stuff that gets posted on the main feed or whatever. That's like public, that's not videos. Yeah. Yeah, it's like a little it's like a dartboard. So that's where they like to pin stuff on you if they can. Yeah. So it's kind of interesting too because pinning stuff on you may not it might not actually belong there. Yeah, but they'll still put stuff too to generate narcissistic supply and generate gossip too or whatever. Yeah. That's what the side things are for. But they've been doing it for a while, or that's where they plant bait and switch lures too. Yeah, that's where they play dirty too, I know. Yeah, it's like it's weird to say the least, yeah. But to each their own. I'm not here to tell people what to do or whatever. But yeah, like you don't have to do tarot, but though I was granted the keys by that Ziad reader for Aries. He did a read like so many amount of weeks ago by now. Yeah, and it was the most actually spiritual read I had gotten. Yeah, and he clarified that I was able, basically it's like God giving me the keys, so I was able to like tap into certain things, stuff with glitches and tarot and whatever else. Yeah, so I don't know. I have yet to see, I guess, like what I'm gonna do exactly or something. I don't know. It's been kind of weird. Yeah, I'm getting like, I don't know if I'm picking up on like more high vibrations today or what. There's something like, yeah, there's something coming in. I don't know if like, what is that? The gamma rays from the sun can make you sleepy. I feel like that's part of it. So people might think it's like, your energy is getting siphoned or something, but no, I don't. It's not always that. I actually caught on one time. It was really weird that I was actually siphoning my own energy. Like it's like you're getting high off of your own energy and siphoning it or something. It's like weird. I don't know. And then like you may cause yourself to fall asleep. So it can be either that or it's the gamma rays from the sun. And it can be like other people too. So I guess, it's like place things where they go or whatever. It's like situational shit or whatever. But yeah, I know, it's pretty funny. I know, I just took like I've been taking, because the milk we've been drinking isn't like the best quality or whatever, and I know it for a fact. But I've been taking what is it, this stuff? Conjugated linoleic acid. Yeah. Yeah, it's weird because it's like, I know the one reader was at CCC readings. Yeah, he mentioned Teal Swan, right? Well, I know Mazeroth came out and called her basically a fake, I guess. I'm not going to get caught up on all that. I'm not trying to just be some like straight up hater or anything like that either. But there is another lady, what is her name? The Alchemist too. Yeah, so it's kind of like weird of how much, I guess, snobbery that comes from the tarot community, or certain, it's only tarot readers too, and they typically are female. Some of them are male too. But yeah, there's been so much, I guess, from them. What's that martyr thing he talked about? Yeah, and then the gaslighting. Yeah, like they constantly have reinforced and made it known like I'm not on their level basically, or I'll never be, or I'm not accepted, or like all kinds of shit. Yeah, I know, but yeah, it's like who said that, who put them on such a high pedestal, let alone over you to begin with? Yeah, and number two, they're not factoring in stuff that you've come up with or worked on your own. Yeah, or like your own eureka moments in real life time. But not only that, they're not thinking of, I know, Teal Swan and The Alchemist. Yeah, it's pretty interesting. Yeah, I know, it's like they're like one shoe, one size fits all kind of mentality. And if you don't fit in this box, you're not accepted, you're not one of us. Like, yeah, they've made it a point to make sure that I know that. Certain melanin people I've noticed too, they're very exclusive, and like it only applies to some of them. Yeah, very exclusive and like VIP. Yeah, they made it a point to, like, if you listen on a read and stuff too, they won't disclose certain things to you because you're like quote unquote Aryan or some shit. Yeah, it's only with certain ones and like maybe at certain times or whatever. Yeah, I know. I've caught people being two-faced and shape-shifting. I've caught people they'll talk shit about you. So like it's like Aries and Libra or Aries and Gemini. They'll talk shit about you in the opposite read, not in the read for you. So in the Aries read, they don't talk shit about people. So I don't know if they automatically know that there's going to be cross watchers with the Aries read, I think. Is one thing going on. The other thing is, though, in the other reads, whether it could be either Gemini, Libra, or Leo, that's when they kind of quote unquote like what they really think of you like comes out 11:11 on the clock. Yeah, but I've known this stuff for a while. I know I'm not gonna act like a saint or whatever. I know there's plenty of times I've quote unquote gossiped or talked shit about people or whatever. Yeah, besides the fact that God also at times you could tell when he's doing it. At times he forces whatever's in your subconscious to the forefront. So basically, in other words, you're just forced to say things. So people can't right away just always like pointing the finger like at you like it's all your fault, how dare you, you're a terrible person, like looking at people in such a quote unquote black and white way or simplified way when in reality there's more to it going on, depending, place things where they go, it's situational still or whatever. Yeah, I know. But yeah, you got to be able to be able to discern, differentiate. And yeah, the only way you can do that is if you're put smack dab in the middle of the storm, in the quote unquote eye of the storm, and you make mistakes and see stuff for yourself firsthand and try things and take a leap or do a bold movement or whatever. Yeah, it's actually the only way you're going to learn. So even as much as like, say for instance, someone like myself, right? Like, even as much as I'd like to pin something on someone or whomever, or cast judgment on whomever, or like play Judge Judy, right, for clout and shit or whatever. Yeah, I know all kinds of shit. I know in the end of the day that you got to be allowed that space, I guess, to quote unquote experiment or trial and error, to like, you have to see the error of your ways to be able to know and discern in real life time. Yeah, it's true. So it's kind of like I'm having to even still, I would say even now, come to terms and face to face with the reality of that fact in of itself, and that why it always needs to be there and the purpose of it, I guess, was the Vesca Pisces. Yeah, whereas, but yeah, I know their bread and butter is the Ouroboros, yes, more often than not. Some of them more so than others. That's why I've called them bottom feeders, because they're the ones that literally like live and salivate in that, yes, in the Ouroboros, mostly, yeah. They're not going to come out and tell you that though. But yeah, that's their main bread and butter. Yeah, it's like I'm not going to say that there's still not Vesca Pisces there, and I'm not going to say that those said individuals aren't still human and have humility and compassion and understanding and like all these things. Yeah, it's like, you're not going to so far as remove that out of them, because that would be doing them an injustice and a disservice, because they're still a humanoid or human being and shit like that. 1414, yeah. Yeah, I don't know, like, why, I guess some people have been more or less, I guess, um, not willing to acknowledge you or what have you, let alone maybe able to fully. But it's really comes down to whatever hang-ups or vendettas they have as an individual in regards to towards you, and in the end, yeah, it has nothing to do with you. Yeah, so you just live and let live, be and let be, because basically in the end, yeah, you're just forced to anyway. but I don't know. I don't know why I'm rambling right now. I guess maybe I need to ramble. Yeah, something, I've been doing the salt water with lemon and minerals and the inner vitality. Yeah, I'm like super hyper, and then like 15:15. I had coffee. Yeah, so you think of how that dehydrates or whatever, but I'm just fine. I'm like super like awake and alert and shit more than usual. It's like hyper, but without the anxiety, which is interesting because I did not put coconut oil in the coffee. So I don't know if maybe you don't have to do that as much. And the collagen peptides I didn't do. So maybe you don't have to do that as much. You can get by with not doing that all the time. Yeah, if you have the, what is that? Unrefined salt in the water. So yeah, I'm noticing a big difference. But yeah, I'm putting this back in because I'm assuming the milk that we're drinking, because it's cheaper, doesn't have it in there. So, but yeah, no, I've had to go online because too, I have like I even offered the ionic foot bath to the elderly lady, whether I per se like her or not, or shit like that. Yeah, like little beknownst to people, I guess, the fact that I can still put differences aside. Yeah, to like still be like, I guess, a quote unquote nice person. But these people don't want anything to do with it. Yeah, so it's like they do it deliberately, but they're not going to talk about it. Yeah, but it's like I already know anyway, so it's like I don't even have to exchange that energy with them, I guess, to like figure it out on my own. Yeah, it's because it's the jealousy thing. I know. Was that Mermaid of Mesopotamia? Yeah, she talked about that stuff. Yeah, I know. I gotta go back to watching more of her videos. It's a lot of notes. Yep, it's quite interesting. Going back on that to add to one of the reads she did, um, in regards to about the cannibalism, basically, yeah, with some of that head reptilian and blowing a whistle and like having us eat that stuff. Well, the only visions I have had that I remember, there was one psychic vision. It was from dream time one time. I don't remember when. I don't know how many past years it's been. But there was a vision where there was this like metal big sink. Yeah, and I was like polishing something or cleaning something off. It was like a little piece of bone or cartilage or something. Yeah, so that's one, I guess, dream time psychic vision I had, and then there is another one, yeah, I'm actually quite normal person, yes. 1818 on the clock. Um, my mother's mother on the Native American, more, you know, yeah, like Spanish side of things, Mexican side of things, yes, my mother's mother, so Grandma Andes, yeah, last name Andes, she automatically confided in me. So basically, in other words, because of the fact that I didn't view her as mentally ill, yeah, so she picked up on the fact that I was a kindred spirit, basically, and a sort of like innocence. Yeah, I know, I stumbled upon some stuff on Google or whatever with the image searches. There's something on I want to say Enoch or Metatron. I've come stumbled upon. I gotta go find it again. There's something on the angel that holds grudges, which is Samuel. Yeah, so I got that going on. The goth, right? Only makes sense. Yeah, and then there's a cartoon I stumbled upon. So what makes up the three, I guess, um, what is it? How we all tire out. There's lust, greed, wrath, stuff like that, right? The seven deadly sins. Yeah, people tire them out. Yeah, so that's why people that are deemed witches or warlocks, yeah, they're the ones that embody some sort of seven deadly sin. Some people, it's very specific. Yeah, versus other ones. So like me, it was innocence less than another one that's like they don't even know or something. And I know there's sloth, so maybe the sloth would be technically the other one or the main one. That would explain why my movements are ridiculously slow still, or the procrastination. Something about acedia in the afternoon or the afternoon devil or something. I heard about that. But yeah, so yeah, if you're drinking milk products that you know, aren't the greatest, definitely yeah, supplement with this. I would say yes. The CLA 1250 or conjugated linoleic acid. Yeah, I've been doing that past couple days only about, yeah, because I remembered I had it and I was reading something in some stuff or whatever. But yeah, I had the psychic vision, and then I had there is no, I think in Cosmic Awakening show a while ago. Yeah, she talked about SSP and Solar Warden and some secret space programs and stuff like that. I want to say there was Julian Wells a while ago and another guy that talked about moving your energy or like Reiki stuff and whatever. Yeah, I know. I still gotta, I guess, like tap into that stuff more. So I don't know if just like I haven't been comfortable enough to express myself. So I'm sure, I know I'm not the only one. Yeah, because of your surroundings or environment, yeah, it can hinder that or become a hindrance or something. But I had another psychic vision. It was I mentioned there was this roll call on like a space aircraft of some kind. Yeah, it was like a space plane or something. It wasn't very big. I want to say it was on the smaller end of the spectrum. And a bunch of kids were boarding it. And they were taking roll call. And there's a lady taking roll call. And I remember saying the name or last name or name of Andrews. 2222. Yeah, so when I boarded. So yeah, that was psychic vision, another one I had or whatever. There was another one where I was on this like white platform, like docking platform. I remember seeing like a triangle big ship overhead with like I want to say three big thrusters in the back. But the white platform was very weird, and there's this like control panel pad, and I was like scared or like freaking out or like thinking something bad would happen. They had me touch this control panel, but it was like elevated, it was all white. I want to say like white metal, coated metal or something like that. Yeah, very like spacey and whatever. That was like another one. But yeah, I had interdimensional sex before with a stardust being, and I thought I was giving birth to Satan's child, and it was this little red guy that came out, and I was like, how the hell is like one species able to make another species? Yeah, it was like I was even dumbfounded, but I remember like I was paranoid. Granted, I was like doing drugs too at the time, so that didn't help. Yeah, and I ended up going to like Walgreens and like looking for Plan B, and I ended up bumping into a guy, and like he let me hang out in his car, and like he was showing me some like pamphlet to like help me out that was like spiritual and or religious or whatever. And oh my god, I got such stories. Yeah, they said Marilyn Monroe was a Earth Angel, so explains why people that are celebrities, I know you think of Aaron Carter, Aaliyah, Michael Jackson, yeah, different like famous ones. Yeah, they I think because the fact that their families too are the handlers. Yeah, it is a serious thing, and also when they start to fight back and get out of quote unquote the people that they've been around's control, whether it's family, lovers, friends, relatives, or whatever, yeah, they start to, that's when the game stalking starts happening. Yeah, so I heard something where they sign some sort of, they try to do some sort of thing Yeah, I forget what it's called again. There was a reader that mentioned it a while ago. Yeah, it's some sort of legal thing they try to get people to do basically, but like they basically get you to like sign, it's like basically like signing over your rights, or you basically, yeah, you become like this cash cow for people and shit. Yeah, it's very, very toxic. It's very sick and deranged. But yeah, I don't consent. I don't consent. I rebuke the devil. I rebuke the devil. I rebuke the devil. I rebuke handlers. I rebuke handlers. I rebuke handlers, or whatever, though I can respect why they exist to learn and grow from and have experiences or whatever. But yes, it's still even going on in today's day and age. So I don't know if even still, with human slavery or human trafficking. So even with people that are quote unquote more similar in a sense. So like even amongst Europeans, let's say, there's still like this slave mentality with one another. So not even referring to like Mexican or Native American or anything like that, but it could very well be this sort of slave master mentality that's still being projected at, I want to say, Native American, Irish, and what's the other one? Mexican. Yeah, I know, towards it's like wanting to use you and view you as just like either a servant or a slave or a maid or just like a laborer kind of person. They don't want you to, like, I guess, branch out of that mold basically, or grow out of that mold. Yeah, so like that's what basically the situation I've been in. Yeah. Yeah, which was very weird for me, especially because just to share some of my own experiences. I never dealt with that growing up, even my childhood, even in a dysfunctional family to a degree is correct. 27, 27. Yeah, so yeah, it's been a learning experience for me, yeah. So yeah, I've been picking up on the mind control, so I don't know if they're doing the lady mentioned, I know Mermaid of Mesopotamia mentioned MK Ultra. So I don't know if even the people around me or whomever else has been doing shit. I would not be surprised. Yeah, because it's not normal. Because why else would I be constantly like staying in my room or on the bed? Yeah, so like people that just mock you for that, they're not trying to understand you that there's actually more to that going on. I know they have the satellites. What's that? They call that Leonardo or some shit. Yeah, I have the book. I have a book that touches on things. But yeah, I have infrared. I had it pinned to the ceiling. It's military grade or whatever. Yeah. Anti EMF of different stuff or whatever. Yeah. I don't know if it's anti radiation. It might be. Initially, I had put it's like, anywhere between $50 and $70 for the. Yeah, so I mean, it's not cheap or whatever, but I had initially put it over my microwave. But yeah, they'll target you. People will target you and they're gang stalk you when you're a unique individual as correct or being. Yeah, so like if you're a Heyoka of any kind, or if you're an old soul or a INFJ sentinel, yeah. Yeah, it's no joke. I know the Mermaid of Mesopotamia mentioned that Joseph is heavily gang stalked, and he is. Yeah, because all the times he tells me about stuff he gets into on the freeways with all the road rage. Yeah, and I had gotten gang stalked, and this guy actually came after me in a car with a gun off the I-17 in I want to say Bethany home when we used to live over that way. Yeah, so like Glendale or whatever. Yeah, so it was at this corner gas station at night. And for some reason, like out of nowhere, this has never happened to me, so this is all new. Like I said, like I'm actually really just a normal Midwestern girl, which is true, like girl next door or whatever. So like, cause I didn't grow up around crime at all, just to give people an idea. So for me, it's like holy shit, yeah, it's like out there. Cause like my parents and my family, no one in my family or parents ever went through that sort of stuff. Yeah, there's some sort of like dark witches in my family. It's on the Mexican side that I know of. Yeah. And then, yeah, I've been around what would be deemed a witch. Yeah, that's why I keep my distance. One of the reasons. Whether people want to admit that or not is irrelevant. But anyway, more to go into the experience I had. Yeah, and so the guy followed me across the street. So I quickly went and crossed the street, pulled in the parking lot of the Savers over there, which is a thrift store. And for some reason, I quickly cut the wheel to the left, like real quick. And the guy ended up running into a tree in that parking lot. Yeah, so it shows to prove, I guess, like how instinctual I am already, like automatically. Like it's like it's basically like we're really actually supposed to be like in environments like that or something. Yeah, because you're built for survival, or your bloodline is built for survival. So it knows when to, I guess, engage that mode, right? That survival instincts, or what is that, parasympathetic nervous system or whatever, the fight or flight response. So for me, I know they had that doctor advertising online in regards to doing a surgery in that, but me personally, I wouldn't mess with it. Yeah, because when you're in a life or death situations, you need to be able to activate that and engage that. But the scary thing comes in is when you have periods of disassociation, and when people are trying to quote unquote manipulate your energy, yeah, and you're up in the I was driving randomly like crazy for no apparent reason up and through the mountains. And even in a vehicle, I used to have like a Nissan Pathfinder shortly. Yeah, and I think like the I drove it all the way to Sedona and back for no apparent reason, and which was dangerous because something with the drive axle or steering column, and where it hooks up to the suspension to the wheels or something. Yeah, it was very dangerous. I got lucky, nothing happened while I was driving through the mountains, but yeah, you could tell, like I remembered back then when you're disassociating, the only way that you can keep yourself in the present at all is to like keep saying something. Yeah, because and two, it was scary because I'd be driving up and through the mountains, and you could tell like people trying to manipulate your energy to try to like they try to get you to harm yourself. Yeah, like drive off the road or like shit like that. I don't consent, I don't consent, I don't consent, but yeah, that's what they were trying to do. This was like a while back now. Yeah, this was like many, many months ago by now. But yeah. I know, wounded warrior thing, yeah. But no, it was weird though because the trauma in the grieving, I guess you're supposed to grieve and it helps you to heal. But I guess the trauma and or me having a mental breakdown, that didn't happen until the past few weeks. Yeah, and it was basically more or less like it was something that I had to, yeah, just deal with and work through myself. I know I'm not like the only one or whatever, but yeah, it's true. The only person that was there for me when it came to all that was my brother and my dad. My brother, because I called him and then, I was upset, and then my dad ended up talking to me for like an hour and a half. Yeah, so like the ram and the rams, was helping a ram was helping a baby ram kind of thing. Yeah. Yeah, so I mean, in the end of the day, yeah, he was the only one mainly that really truly gave a damn, which is what I came to realize. So it's just yeah, you are able to see people's character in real life time. Yeah, you're able, as we shapeshift and go through the motions, that's when you're able to see people more clearly, is correct. So yeah, you just allow, by you just being yourself naturally and authentic, yeah, God basically uses you as bait by you just being your authentic self. So like, especially for me being like the quote unquote original blueprint basically. Yeah, it's like a secret, it is a secret weapon in and of itself. Yeah. You know what, too, and the only way I was able to figure that out is through real life time. It's like not to say you're perfect. It's not to say that you don't make mistakes. It's not to say that you don't misjudge people or that you don't have blind spots or shit like that. Yeah, but it's by you being yourself and being basically like, because God is constantly molding you when He molds you in real life time. So by you being your authentic self and stepping up to the plate, you will automatically expose people. Yes. Yeah, 35, 35, 55. Yeah. So it's kind of like, yeah, in the end of the day, it's like, no, don't feel bad if you, because basically you were made and created to expose people, basically, which is true. Yeah, so it's like you don't sweat if you start to grow apart from people or anything like that or whatever, you don't have any hard feelings or anything like that. Yeah, it's like you gotta keep moving forward and working on yourself. Yeah, and also too, it is what it is. But yeah, apparently it takes certain experiences for you, I guess, to even finally put yourself first to begin with. So it's like it is what it is. Comes with the territory, whatever. But anyway, I'm gonna. I will mention one more thing. Yes, I had so I had gone to the mental hospital or quote unquote rehab. I had a police officer escort me. Apparently, despite being under the influence of quote unquote said substance, I was still coherent enough and coherent. So basically, in other words, you can be under the influence of something and still be sane. Yeah, so basically it was like even though I was very disorientated, um I basically had a police officer escort me to Banner Health. And then from there I want to say I didn't stay more than like 2 weeks. And I want to say they had me on I don't think more than 2 different drugs. I know one had to have been an antidepressant of some kind. Could have been 2 or 3, don't quote me on it. Yeah, I don't remember all of them. I want to say they might have had me on an antipsychotic. They might have. I do know that the pills over time or prescription, that I know they did say that I was like bipolar or whatever. Yeah, that's what they like diagnosed me as at the time. But I know over time, whatever the prescriptions that they had me on, whatever they were, ended up having adverse side effects. So I ended up not, after I got released and what have you, I ended up not continuing to take them because of the adverse side effects. So I mean, it only made sense. I had been diagnosed ADHD a while back when I was in Illinois still, from time to time, by a general care physician or practitioner. And that's when I was on either, I know I ended up being on Vyvanse, but I might have been on Adderall, but I think the one I do remember for sure is Vyvanse. Yeah. So I know I've tried, what is that, Ritalin? I want to say Ritalin and Ativan before, Xanax. Yeah, I've tried different things. Oxycontin, Molly, acid, shrooms, weed. Yeah, I know the amphetamines of different kinds, whether prescription or on the street. Yeah. Yeah. I don't know why people act so surprised. I've talked about stuff on and off for a while, so, but you kind of get tired of seeing yourself if, like, not, you don't care to keep posting videos and doing videos if people aren't really listening or some shit like that. Yeah, so I don't know, like, yeah, you get tired of that. But anyway, so yeah, I was able to test things out firsthand. Being able to tell whether and discern whether I was truly, genuinely mentally ill, or whether it was really just chemical imbalances caused by substance abuse. So whether it be drugs and or alcohol, so it was obviously both. So that's how I was able to figure out firsthand through trial and error, through going through the motions and applying things on myself in real life time and experiencing things on myself firsthand. Yeah, that's how you're truly able to learn and discern what is what. Yeah. Yeah, for me, yeah. So, I'm trying to think. But yeah, I've been sober since 2017. Yeah, I ended up because after I going through a quote unquote a mental hospital or rehab, because yeah, there was one time that I tried to I don't want to say so far as kill myself, but it was definitely self-harm. But I could have very well had the intention of trying to kill myself. And then come to find out, I have like a scar on my wrist. So trying to cut, like on my left wrist, trying to cut that main vein there. But it was more, I could tell it wasn't me personally. It was like something else like taking hold of you. So like they say in the collective, it's not with the physical we're fighting, it's with the metaphysical or spiritual. Yeah, so you think of the demons. I know EBH Quantum Shift talked about drug use being fueled by demons, which they're right about that. So anyway, after having myself escorted by police, I don't know, I got like bug bites or something. After having myself escorted by police, and gone to the hospital, I was there for like about 2 weeks at most. Yeah, and then they had me on different drugs or whatever, and I ended up stopped using them because they weren't working anymore or had adverse effects. I ended up eventually seeking out a priest or bishop, and I stumbled, I want to say I looked up maybe like 2 options or something, and I ended up reaching out to a guy. And yeah, he ended up helping me because I remember when he came into the apartment, I was like completely distraught. Yeah, like I was in I don't know what you want to call it, like wasn't myself at all. Like you could tell there was like something dark over me, but you couldn't necessarily like put your finger on it at first or something. You think of like a dark cloud or something very oppressive. Yeah. And it's like you already had gone through the mental hospital or rehab, so you already found out firsthand that it's it's beyond the physical. Yeah, or like alchemical or chemical. Yeah. So he ended up we ended up mirroring each other, and he's like, I was like, I have something on my head, don't I? And he's like, yeah. And at first he made sure to like kind of like keep his distance. But yeah, basically there was a black serpent on my head. Yeah, but it was attached to my Merkaba or auric field. Basically, in other words, he had a metal medallion gifted to him by a rabbi, and he put it by my head. Cause like, mind you, before I was like on the floor, distraught, like feeling very oppressed and like tormented. It's more of like you're tormented, you're oppressed, you're distraught, you're you're in a lot of distress. Yeah, and he ended up putting it above my head and ended up getting rid of it. You're like in a depression too. Yeah, my head went like zap. Yeah, so I don't know. It was the strangest, definitely the strangest experience I ever had. So yeah, he was a lifesaver, and He ended up blessing my apartment and everything. I ended up hanging out with him, I think maybe one other time or something. Yeah, he knew stuff about chakras and everything. So I don't know. It's really weird when, like, you can know someone for so long and date someone or be married or whatever, and, like, they never be interested in any of that stuff. Yeah, and, like, you can meet some complete stranger, guy or whatever, and, like, they be into that stuff right away. It's like you don't even have to, like, ask. Yeah, I know. It's so weird when, you realize the reality of people and shit. Yeah, like, even still, like, even now, like, all the healing stuff I'm into, the person I'm with, he's not into that stuff at all. Yeah, he never wants to hear about it or have anything to do with it, like, whatever I talk about. Yes, very misogynistic, very narrow-minded, small-minded, and narcissistic, yes. Yeah, I'm just like, oh my god. But yeah, especially going by, like, experiences I had, like, before I met him or whatever. People be, what is it? I know people be strange when you're a stranger, but people also be, what is that? Just flat out weird. Yeah, like, I'm not the weird one, I'm the normal one. But I'd been treated like the weird one or odd one out. But it's only because you're around weird people. Yeah, it's true. Yeah, I had another experience where I was, I don't know, disorientated, and I was trying to come down off a high, and I could never seem to come down. Granted, I'd be snorting stuff, so, it wasn't, like, the best, and stuff I would be snorting wasn't the best quality either. Yeah, 46 on the clock. So I remember when I drove up to Flagstaff, and on the way I was stopping by liquor stores, and I'm just, like, drinking bottles of liquor or beer or wine along the way. Yeah, like, I was, like, trying to drown myself out. I know, it's, like, straight out of the movie of Constantine. Yeah, I know, with that heavy set overweight guy, and, like, he's, at the gas station or fridge, and he's, like, constantly opening up all the refrigerator doors and, like, drowning himself in, like, alcohol or liquids and stuff. Yeah, it's has to do with demons and shit, but yeah, it's just like that. So I was doing that, driving up there, and I ended up, like, going to the woods and forests. It was, like, the pine woods, holding up a rosary and saying stuff. Yeah, it's like I completely embarrassed myself, and, like, I ended up pulling. I had a Nissan Sentra at the time. It was, like, silver. I ended up pulling in the middle of the road in the median, and I want to say it was, like, a two-sided road, and there was, like, construction workers that were, like, navigating traffic, and I was just, like, I want to say by the side of my car, in front of my car, and, like, holding up my crystal rosary and, like, saying shit. And I remember I tried to run into the woods. Yeah, and there's, like, this wire fence, but I don't know if, like, they stopped me from going in there. I don't know what, but for some reason I was, like, really drawn to go to the woods for some reason. But anyway, yeah, the police ended up escorting me. I want to say they ended up taking me to the hospital, and, like, my car got towed and taken to a tow yard. And then I ended up being at the hospital, and then they ended up, like, giving me something, 48. Yeah, they ended up, I want to say it was, like, morphine or something. I don't know. Yeah, they put something in my left arm, upper arm. So I don't know, to, like, sedate me or calm me down or some shit. I don't know. Yeah, but yeah, it's definitely demons, and yeah, something, reincarnated earth angels. Marilyn Monroe was one.
Yeah, kind of knew that Bonita wouldn't have